Thanks for staying tuned. This is still Breakfast Central. It's time for sports updates. I'm Samson Oloyede. We begin sports update from the World Rugby World Cup taking place there in France as Namibia's coach Alista Coetzee made 8 changes on Monday as he named his team to face Uruguay in the final Rugby World Cup Pool A encounter. Now Coetzee plumped for a new half-back pairing with Damian Stevens and Tian Swampole coming in for Jack Theron, who drops to the bench, and Cleven Lopsa, who moves from fly half to fullback for Wednesday's encounter in Lyon. Akino Isaacs comes in at outside centre for the suspended captain Johan Diesel, who will sit out the game due to his red card for a head-on-head tackle that broke a bone in France captain Antoine Depour's face. Now you have Namibia still searching for their first ever World Cup victory after losing 25 straight matches. We wish them the very best. In the world of football, Algeria have announced their withdrawal from the 2025 and 2027 African Cup of Nations bidding process due to poor facilities. Algeria headed a list of 4 bids alongside Botswana, Egypt, and a joint candidacy from Kenya, Tanzania, and Uganda for the 2025 tournament. The North Africans were favorites alongside Egypt for the hosting rights before the withdrawal. With Algeria out of the bidding process, Morocco are expected to host the 2025 edition of the African Cup of Nations, while Senegal are expected to host that of 2027. Still talking football matters, the Nigerian Professional Football League Board has announced the 2023-2024 season will kick off on September 30th. The league body also declared that all the clubs will receive a 20 million naira takeoff grant. Meanwhile, matches involving CAF Confederation Cup campaigners, Rivers United Football Club and Bendel Insurance will be put on hold due to the continental engagements this weekend. Rivers United will entertain Etoile Filante of Burkina Faso in the second leg of their second-round encounter in Port Harcourt on Sunday. You also have Bendel Insurance, who will travel away in Morocco for their second-leg clash against former champions RS Berkane. To football on the European scene, Chelsea's first-team coach Bruno Salto has left the club amid a reshuffle of Mauricio Pochettino's backroom staff. Pochettino has yet to decide whether to bring in his own replacement for Salto. He came to Stamford Bridge as part of Graham Potter's coaching staff and has acted as Chelsea's caretaker boss when the former Brighton manager was sacked after just 31 games in charge. Salto and Chelsea reached a mutual agreement to terminate his contract with 2 years left on the deal. A 1-0 defeat to Aston Villa condemned Chelsea to their worst top-flight start in 45 years at the weekend. Still talking football, Arsenal's record signing Declan Rice has avoided serious injury and could be in contention for Arsenal's Premier League game at Bournemouth on Saturday. Rice underwent tests on Monday after feeling discomfort in his back in the North London derby on Sunday, which forced him off at halftime. Scans have revealed the problem is not a major one, although the midfielder continues to feel discomfort and is not expected to take part in the Carabao Cup game at Brentford on Wednesday. Rice has started every Arsenal game since signing for the club for a record fee of £105 million from West Ham United this summer and scored a late winner against Manchester United earlier this month. Still staying with England, Liverpool defender Kostas Tsimikas signed a new long-term contract with the Premier League club on Monday. Tsimikas agreed a 5-year deal when he joined the Reds from Olympiacos in 2020, but the length of the 27-year-old's new contract has not been disclosed. Largely deputizing for Liverpool's first-choice left-back Andrew Robertson, the Greek international Tsimikas has made 63 appearances and provided 12 assists since arriving at Anfield in an £11 million deal. He has one Premier League appearance this season as a substitute against Bournemouth in August and started last week's Europa League win against LASK in Austria. And finally, on Sports Update at this time, the Dutch FA have disclosed the abandoned match between rivals Ajax and Feyenoord will resume behind closed doors on Wednesday. Feyenoord led by 3-0 after 56 minutes at the Johan Cruyff Stadium when the game was stopped as home fans threw flares and fireworks onto the pitch. The match will be completed at 2 p.m. local time with no supporters present. Ajax match against Volendam, scheduled for Wednesday, has been postponed as a result. In a statement, Ajax said they disagree with the decision to finish the game on Wednesday on fixture congestion grounds and are considering legal action. And that's it on Sports Update at this time. It's back to you, Osarogie.
All right, thanks a lot, Samson. Interesting stories there.
Yep.
Any EPL games that we're looking forward to?
I didn't get that, you said?
Are there any EPL games that we're looking forward to?
No, Carabao Cup, basically. That's the League Cup. And Manchester United will be playing today against Crystal Palace. It's been a very, dismal start for them based on the expectations going into the season.
It's a reaction from me.
Do we really need to?
No, my job is to report it as it is.
I know, but can we postpone certain games?
No, we can't postpone it. Give me the bet. No. See, I'm Arsenal by marriage, so also I can pity you, but not too much. So what is that match looking like, given the current form that Man U has been experiencing?
It's difficult to tell. For Crystal Palace, that a side that can always, prove to be a boogie team against the big sides, but their last match wasn't encouraging against Fulham. That was a stalemate, goalless. It ended. United were able to get a convincing win against Burnley. Convincing in terms of the overall play, although there were also shaky moments. You had Burnley hitting the woodwork and what have you. So it's difficult to tell. Both teams are neither here nor there. I think for United, there's still a whole lot going on, especially in terms of the manager. That those who think he's not, making the right decisions tactically. Those who think
definitely not.
Exactly. And when you consider the fact that so many top players are not performing, Marcus Rashford, for example, you probably feel that United need, I won't call it an overhaul, but there needs to be, tweaking here and there, either in terms of personnel or tactical setup to get them kicking once again.
It also feels like a chicken and egg thing. Is it the coach or is it the players? Why does the coach always, not always, but a lot of this sort of blaming the players or the coach for the players' performance on the field? When you're paying someone the amount of money that many of the top players in Man United are getting, whether coach, whether no coach,
and
you need
I 100%
to deliver.
agree with you. If a person is collecting £300,000, a week, you
to
should
kick a
give
ball
at
around.
least 30 goals a season, at least 40 goals a season. You have no excuse whatsoever. But we've belittled, football
winding
to
him
that
up.
level. It's frustrating, really. And even the Burnley game you're talking about, yes, we got to win, but that was one of the worst Manchester United games I've ever seen.
Exactly.
We played like we were playing against, the Avengers.
Especially for a team like Burnley,
Exactly.
that second to the bottom of the table. I think there's a whole lot that needs to change. Really, certain players need to go. You talk about Anthony Martial, Jadon Sancho has failed to settle in almost 2 years. A whole lot really needs to happen at Manchester United for them to be kicking again. Is Erik ten Hag the best man for the job? Well, let's see the personnel changes first in terms of the players, then we can always address the managerial position.
And it's a bit early still in the season, but I know that a lot of you like to get your foot into it and show that there's going to be dominance in this season. Samson, thank you so much. I'm not going to be watching, but what I always enjoy is the banter on the group chat. So I know that some people will get flags this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah.